All right, welcome Kent Business College apprentices. So this is your guide to becoming a marketing manager who doesn't just, run campaigns, but one who actually steers the ship.
So let's just kick this off with a question that I'm pretty sure you've thought about. Do you ever feel like your team is seen as, well, the coloring in department? You know, the people who just make things look pretty but aren't really involved in the real business decisions.
Well, this right here, this is your secret key. We're talking about moving from just executing creative tasks to actually driving core business strategy. It's about earning that seat at the big table. And I mean, not just to listen, but to lead.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Here's the map for our journey today. First, we're going to talk about what marketing that matters really means. Then, we'll find our North Star, turn big goals into real action, navigate some tricky internal pitfalls, and finally, I'll give you a powerful strategic toolkit. And at the end, you get your mission. So let's do this.
All right, first up, we are totally shifting our mindset. It's not just about doing cool stuff anymore. No, it's about understanding how every single dollar, every tweet, every single campaign we run actually pushes the entire company towards success.
Now, this is so interesting because it completely flips the script on how we usually think about marketing, right? It's saying the most powerful stuff doesn't start with a clever ad out in the world. Nope. It starts with a really deep understanding of what's going on inside your own company walls.
Okay, so let's move to our next waypoint on the map and see how this all connects. Because to really start from the inside, we absolutely need to find our guiding light. You know, that big X that marks the spot on the treasure map.
So that X on the map? Yeah, those are the corporate goals. We're talking about the high-level, big-picture targets set by leadership. And for us as marketers, knowing these goals, it isn't just a nice-to-have. It's literally everything. This is our ultimate destination.
I mean, think about it. If you don't know the destination, what are you doing? You're just driving around, burning through the company's budget on a road trip to absolutely nowhere. This North Star, it has to guide every single decision you make, period.
And look, these goals aren't always just about the money, you know? They can be about launching in a new country, or making customers so unbelievably happy they never, ever leave. Or it could be something even bigger, like becoming the most sustainable company in your entire industry.
Okay, so how do we actually use this North Star to guide us day to day? Well, we create something called a strategic cascade. Just think of it like a waterfall, where every single decision we make flows directly from that one big goal right at the top. And this just illustrates the flow perfectly. You start with the big corporate goal that sets our marketing objective for us. That objective then dictates our strategy, the route we're going to take. That route determines our budget, that's our fuel. And finally, our KPIs, those are just the milestones we check along the way. You see, it all connects, one thing to the next.
Let's look at a real-world example. Take Marks & Spencer. A while back, their big corporate goal, they called it Plan A, was all about sustainability. And guess what? That became their entire marketing story, and it worked. Why? Because it was authentic. It was perfectly wired into the company's #1 priority. But of course, no great quest is just a straight line to the treasure, right? There are always challenges. We're talking dungeons, dragons, and in our case, internal risks that can completely derail our brilliant plans if we're not paying attention.
So here's the thing about those monsters on the map. They're a whole lot less scary when you actually know they're there. This isn't about avoiding the journey. Not at all. It's about packing the right gear so you can handle whatever comes your way.
All right, so what are these traps? Well, you've got compliance risk. That's accidentally breaking some advertising rule you didn't even know existed. Oof. Then there's reputation risk, where some internal mess makes the whole company look bad. Operational risk, oh, this is my personal nightmare, your website crashing during a massive product launch. That is literally a disaster movie starring your career. And of course, you've always got to watch for those sudden budget cuts and, yeah, that one employee's, let's call it creative, use of the company Twitter account.
But here's the key takeaway about risk. Being smart about it doesn't mean you have to be boring. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. It means you can take bigger, more exciting, calculated risks because you've already thought it through. You've got a safety net.
Okay, so we found our North Star. We've learned how to spot the monsters on the map. Now it's time to open up the treasure chest. Let's talk about your strategic toolkit.
This right here, this is your ultimate cheat sheet.
Seriously, it covers the whole shebang, from making sure your goals are aligned, to knowing your team's strengths, to managing all those pesky risks we just talked about. It's basically your entire internal strategy in one powerful visual.
All right, you've got the map, you've got the toolkit. It's time to put all this into practice. I've got one final challenge for you before you go.
So, here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. Go and find your organization's #1 top corporate goal for this year. Got it? Okay. Then, look at your own projects, the stuff you work on every day. Can you draw a straight, unbroken line from what you do to that big company goal?
Because answering that one question, that is how you prove marketing's immense value. That is how you stop being the coloring in department and become the team that doesn't just follow the map, but the team that actually draws it for the entire company. Now go be brilliant.